Hello everybody, we're here. I'm gonna go over the patch notes for Dawntrail because I'm pretty excited. I don't know, I'm pretty sure everybody that plays 14 is. So I'm just gonna kind of run through them. It's probably gonna take a while, so, sit back and enjoy the ride. We got the preliminary patch notes a couple days ago, but I was gonna make a video on that, and then I didn't get a chance to, so I figured the actual patch notes came out, this morning at 2 a.m. So I figured 2 a.m. for me. Figured I would just go through them real quick. Great pleasure, we announced patch notes for Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail have been released in their entirety. Okay, so there's actually, more stuff than maybe more stuff than the prelims. So, we're going to Tyrol, the new continent. You'll encounter a thrilling story. Riveting. I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I'm curious how they're gonna make it work. I did also hear, they're focusing on making the gameplay systems a bit better for Dawntrail, and then I heard the next expansion is, diversifying classes more is kind of what they're gonna focus on, so it'll be pretty good. Also, I'm not one for recording stuff regularly. I'm still kind of getting better at it, so I'm either gonna stare at the monitor a lot or, right into your soul through the camera, and it's gonna be really creepy. So, we've got Viper and Picto coming. Female Hrothgar. Pretty sick. And then, increased level cap. Some new actions, right, level cap's 100 now. Everybody's got new actions. And the 7.0 graphical update, which I am so happy about. Time has come, Warriors of Light, prepare to set sail. So what they've said, the new raid will be coming out 7.01, and Savage Arcadion will be coming out 7.05, as well as the new treasure hunt instance, C-Note Yaya Gural? Jaja Gural? I don't know, dude. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Have a launch trailer. Pretty hype. I'm not gonna watch it, because I want to experience. I haven't really watched much for, the job. Well, I watched a bit of the job trailers. But, I'm trying not to see as much as I can, even with the media tour stuff coming out. So, they're making some adjustments to, Realm Reborn. Well, starting from Realm Reborn. Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawntrail as well, which, obviously. Anytime we see one of these symbols, it means that you need that expansion for it to kind of come into effect. New cities have been added. I'm gonna mess this up. Taliolol? I always mess it up. I've been having such a hard time saying it the entire time. Taliolol. Solution 9. These look sweet. This reminds me of, well, I guess they were kind of going for what, that, first thing that comes to mind is Pacific Island kind of deal, tropical, pretty cool looking. Reminds me of Hawaii. It looks nice too. Solution 9 is I don't know, were they talking to to CD Projekt Red about, how to design a cyberpunk city? It almost looks like that, or Mass Effect or something. Pretty sweet. New field areas. So we got 5 new field areas. We got Urkapacha. Pretty interesting. It's interesting to me that this reminds me of Pacific Island kind of deal with you got the beach and the water and the kind of structures built on the water. But then you come here and these areas kind of, I don't know, seem to be more South American or something like that. Or at least this one does. So Urkapacha. That's pretty cool. I like the lots of cactuses. Cacti. Kozama Uka. See, that looks a little bit more tropical, I guess. I don't know. More jungly. And before we get Lahi. Take 2. Yaktel. This reminds me of this right here reminds me of Besaid Island from Final Fantasy X. And Makalania Woods from Final Fantasy X. Shaloni. the Wild Wild West. Machinists are gonna have a heyday in here. Like, I already looked down further in the prelim patch notes. Machinists are getting, like, some cowboy stuff. It's gonna be sweet. Heritage found. So, at first I saw this and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. There's, like, you know, more technologically advanced stuff. And then I saw that this is, like, a destroyed city and I got scared. New city and field aetherites look delicious. I want to know what the crystal tastes like. Because, like, I don't know. It just looks like something to lick. Number of aether currents in all Endwalker areas has been reduced. It's pretty typical. They do this with most of the new expansions, right? Where they'll reduce the amount of aetherites you actually have, or aether current quests to do. So you still have to find them usually, but I think they might actually be even less aether currents just on the map as well. And then there's some quests you gotta do. New MSQ. It's gonna be pretty sick. No spoilers. They even said it right here. No spoilers anywhere. I have mixed feelings about the twins being in, because, like, I like them, but also they can be kind of annoying. These two, I forget their names, I'm gonna be honest. I'm so terrible. But I'm excited for them to be kind of, like, getting the spotlight. Especially this guy. He, like, just kind of showed up and he was like, I'm a traveler in Endwalker. And then now we're going, I guess Tyrell's his homeland, right? So new world to explore requires DOW DOM level 90 in Old Charlene. Pretty cool. And we have to complete the MSQ quest. I don't know why I said main scenario quest. The MSQ, the Coming Dawn. So I believe that's the most recent, like, final quest in 6.5. New side story quests have been added. So for 2.x and 7.x? Huh. They're adding a new quest. Oh, any quest, any class or job level 1. Interesting. Oh, this is how we're getting our free file of Fantasia. Okay, so that's why it's 2.x, because anybody can do it. If they have, I guess you need to have, Dawntrail. So they're employing an automatic level adjust system known as Quest Sync. And then you can get your Fantasia that way. There's new role quests. So instead of what they've done in the past, I mean, they haven't done it for a while, but I think since Stormblood, used to be, you know, you had your own class quests to go through, which I don't think they've done since then. So basically every class had, like, its own quest line to follow. And as you got to the end, you'd get gear and skills and all that stuff. Where it seems like since Shadowbringers, I know they did in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, seems like they're doing it in Dawntrail as well. The quests are just around the entire role as opposed to a specific class. So all the tanks have their own line of role quests, because that way you don't have to do it on each different class, right? You just do it for tanks all in one. So that starts out all in Taliolol. And you have to start Uncouth customers to be able to do, you know, tank, melee DPS, Fizz ranged, magical ranged, and healer. So, okay, yeah, Viper's melee DPS and Picto's magical range. Additional quests unlocked upon completing the entirety of the main scenario, and all 5 role quest series will be added in a future update. Oh. Okay, so there's gonna be some more quests as well to go with it. And there's job quests, Enter the Viper, and the Joy of Pictomancy. So these are where you will get the access to your classes, or new jobs, rather. Viper and Pictomancer, respectively. I'm gonna butcher this so bad. Wachumeki Meki deliveries have been added. So the Wachumeki Meki, I believe, are the new Beast Tribe, or Allied Society, I believe they're calling them now. Each disciple of the Hand or Land will be able to progress through one of 5 series of quests associated with the different shops of Wachumeki Meki. Completing deliveries for Shopkeeper of Wachumeki Meki will advance the story of that particular shopkeeper. You have to complete Inscrutable Tastes before undertaking these quests or deliveries because it includes crafters and gatherers skip. I can do words good. It includes crafters and gatherers scripts. And then you just turn in whatever they're requesting and you get rewarded for it. Pretty good. I just kind of got into the whole crafting thing, so like it's all kind of new to me. I'm still learning, but it seems like it's going to be a good way to maybe level crafter. No, yeah, level crafters because it's for level 90, starting level 90. So maybe this is like similar to handing in collectibles? Or no, I guess it's deliveries, so it's like the custom deliveries or whatever, right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I'm gonna learn more. So they have them for all your crafters, and then all your gatherers, minor botanists, and fisher. Additional quests unlocked upon completing all 5 Wachumeki Meki deliveries quest series will be added in a future update. Cool. Requested materials can only be collected while undertaking each quest. Furthermore, these materials will not be listed in the gathering or fishing log, but will appear in the duty list. Okay, sounds about right. And it will be confirmed being the journal or the duty list. Oh, I see. So you find out what they're looking for, and then you'll be able to see it on your map. Or via the duty list. I guess they're quests then, aren't they? Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense then. Players can now temporarily hide the display of nearby player characters when interacting with quest-related NPCs or objects. So they're adding in a setting now. So before, people used to have to go, like you'd run up to an NPC, people would just be standing right on the NPC. You hold X or whatever and it hides names and all that stuff, so you can click on the NPC and actually see them. They would like hide player info or whatever. So now what's happening is they've added in an option to automatically hide nearby players when you're close to quest NPCs. So it'll just take the people right out of the way, so you get free access to the NPCs. As well as to hide them when you're interacting with them. So one just hides them when you get near them. The other one will also hide them when you interact with the NPC, so that when you don't, it pretty much, that way when you click on the quest NPC, you don't have all these players just popping up all of a sudden, I would imagine. An additional option is also available to hide party members, so that's actually kind of neat. These options are only applicable to quest NPCs or objects with an icon. Quest icon, to be specific. Options will not be applied to players that are targeted or force targeted, and these options are not applicable to certain quests. So, maybe they're gonna roll it out some more later. I don't know. There are now visual indicators to help players avoid detection for quest objectives that require following an NPC. So those ones where you gotta like tail somebody, they have some more apparent visual indicators, which will be good. I mean, I know I struggled with, there's one in Endwalker, I think, where you had to follow, I can't remember his name, the blue-haired dude, and I know it was a little bit of a pain, but so this should help. Indicator that players risk being seen should the NPC they're following turn around. Indicator that players should not approach. So, two very clear indicators. That's pretty good. Players can now select icons in the duty list to carry out quest objectives, such as using emotes or opening the crafting log. That's a huge W, because for things where they would say like, oh, you know, cheer this guy, you'd have to actually type it out, whereas now it's just an action that you can use. Oh, even for opening the crafting log, there'll be a button that's just there. Interesting. As of the release of Dawntrail, this feature is only applicable to quests implemented in 7.0. So they are going to roll that out for previous expansions as they go on, but they're testing it, I guess, or using it just in 7.0 for now. Players may now auto-adjust text, auto-advanced, sorry. Players may now adjust text auto advance settings to apply only to voice dialogue. Oh, I see. So it'll advance after the voice line's done. I think that makes sense. Help alleviate issues with misinputs when completing quest objectives that require entering phrases with chat mode and say, certain half-width and full-width characters will now be treated as the same character when typing. Oh, I see. So instead of putting in half of a word, I guess you still have to put in the same word, but if you maybe have an extra letter in there by accident, it should still treat it properly. Categorization of certain allied society quests has been adjusted. Yes, so before they were tribal quests, now they're allied society quests. Which makes sense. I mean, we found out that the beast tribes weren't really actually, like, they're quite civilized, so now they're our allied society. Certain battle quests can no longer be undertaken using limited jobs or certain quest battles. Okay, so you used to be able to use Blue Mage on some stuff, I guess. Leaves. New tradecraft and fieldcraft leaves have been added. No tradecraft or fisher fieldcraft leaves allowing multiple turn-ins have been added. So pretty much you can't just grind fieldcraft leaves for fisher or tradecraft leaves, I suppose, to grind levels. Experience points rewarded when using Disciple of the Hand class or Fisher at level 90 or above to complete a leave with the level requirement below 90, have been capped at 1,000. Oh, so you can't even... Okay, so they've done this basically, so what that'll mean is that, like, you can't take your Fisher, who's level 90, and go to do, like, the lower level fishing leaves that you can just grind out by buying stuff off the market board or whatever. You can't just do a whole bunch of those to get up to level 100. They want you to actually do more current stuff. I believe that's if I'm interpreting it correctly. New fates have been added. So I think these are going to be, well, there's the new fates that'll be in the zones. You get bicolor gemstones upon completing fates in 7.0 areas, just like we have for Endwalker and Shadowbringers. And you can give it to gemstone traders. And the more fates you do, I think rank 1 is 6 and then rank 2 is like 60 or something. Gemstone traders will offer you more things to turn in. Pretty typical with the shared fates. Maximum store of bicolor gemstones has been increased from 1,000 to 1,500. That's pretty good. Because, I mean, the cap was kind of, not annoying, but I mean, like, never really something I did too much anyway. But you kind of just, I don't know. It's always good to have a higher cap on stuff. Fates that grant a bonus to experience points gained will now also grant a color to earned bicolor gemstones. That's pretty good. Game client will now respond more quickly when opening the shared fate window or changing between categories. I didn't realize that it was laggy. Large-scale fates that take place at fixed locations will now also appear on the map like regular fates. Did they not before? So, Omicron Recall, Killing Order, and Divadipa, those were both the Endwalker ones. Finale Most Formidable was the Shadowbringers. But I don't... Did they not appear on the map like fates? Or are they just gonna, appear as normal fates instead of, like, something special or different? I don't know. That one seems kind of weird to me. I'm not... Like, it's never something I've thought of, so it's hard for me to recall it in my brain. And then this change also applies to large-scale fates implemented in 7.0. Interesting. Treasure Hunt. So, the following additions and adjustments have been made to treasure maps. Lobo Skin treasure maps and Brax Skin treasure maps have been added. Rewards for Saiga Skin, Kambira Skin, and Ofotoro Skin treasure maps has been adjusted because they're no longer the most current. And then you get Allegan Tomestones rewarded for these older ones are now changed to Poetics instead of Causality. Starting in 7.05, there will be a chance for a teleportation portal to appear when completing the Brax Skin treasure maps, which is kind of what they said at the top. The Excitatron 6000 and the Shifting Gymnasium Aganon will now be level synced, adjusting player levels to 90. Okay. Grand and free companies. Additional items will now be accepted for supply and provisioning missions. which sounds about right. And like things you can turn in, I guess. The GC turn-ins. I think. Those are... Obviously, I mean, they're adding the new items. Viper... Why is Viper capitalized, but Pictomancer isn't? I mean, I know this was... I guess this is the start of the sentence. I'd like to see Viper in the middle of a sentence to see if they capitalize it or not. Viper and Pictomancer symbol options have been added to the charge category of the company crest editor. That's cool. New craftable items have been added to the company workshop. Yeah, these are like the new housing items we're getting, which is pretty cool to me. I like the like kind of, I don't know, sword in the stone cottage look. The following additions and adjustments have been made to subaquatic voyages. New areas have been added, new items have been added, and maximum submersible rank has been increased from 115 to 120. I'm still mad because we haven't got a Grand Company expansion yet. The max you can still go to is, like, Captain, I think, right? Housing. Ward classifications adjusted for residential districts on certain worlds. So, this is everything in Dynamis. It's where it's being affected. That'll change. So, you know, certain wards are only for free companies, and certain wards are only for private buyers. Some are split between the two. Ward classifications for everyone else will stay the same. Estate holder right system has been implemented. So now you can eject people from their estate hall or garden and just stop people from entering the property specifically. So I think that means you have to be on... Yeah, so it says you must be on your estate grounds and have the requisite authority. Bar them from property. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Target the character you wish to bar. Select bar from property in subcommand menu and choose register as barred character. They'll be ejected from the estate grounds and moved to the housing area entrance. Oh, so they can't even go onto your estate at all. If they step foot on your estate, they just get moved right back to the, like, area of the housing ward. Or the, entrance of the housing ward. I misread that when I read it in the preliminary patches. I thought it meant they just get put outside of your, like, your house, basically. Barred characters will remain on the barred characters list for 10 days. During this time, any attempts to enter your estate hall or garden will instead transport them to the housing area entrance. To view or adjust these settings, select housing from the social menu, followed by estate settings, then estate holder rights. Authorization settings will differ according to the type of residence. I feel like 10 days is not enough time. Like, if you're barring somebody, if something's gotten to the point where you have to physically stop someone from entering your property, I feel like that should be a permanent option. Like, it should be treated like a blacklist. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know if that makes sense or if I'm kind of misunderstanding it. Free company estate. Free company master is the main rights holder and may appoint up to 4 free company members as a secondary rights holder. This is what happens if this is what you do in a free company estate. Personal estate, and you can appoint up to 3 tenants as secondary rights holders, with the estate owner being the main rights holder in personal estates. And then apartment or private chambers, yeah, like the owner is the only one who can do stuff with that. Oh, okay. Should be noted that when secondary rights holders with setting enabled are present on an estate, characters on their blacklist as well may also be denied access to the property. So if the main rights holder doesn't have somebody on the blacklist that the secondary rights holder does, it sounds like the main rights holder won't be able to see them either. And then you can adjust which rights holders' blacklists will be included to determine who's barred from the estate. Oh, okay. So maybe people that are on your blacklist are barred from your estate then automatically? Is that something that's already been in the game? After entering the lottery for an estate, it'll actually tell you which one you've already put a bid on. Or rather, what house you've put an entry on or whatever. They've added the furnishings from the FF14 furnishing design contest. This is cool. The first thing that I see when I see this is grapes. I'm like, the grapes. I don't know why they just have that shape. This is kind of cool. I like that. The like window with the neon bars and like massive filing cabinet. Is that a pool? That almost looks like a pool. And the little, like... That is... I want one of those. That's a cool place to, like, sit and chill. That's really neat. So you can have that up on, like... I wonder if you can put stuff under it. That's cool. I like that. And new furnishings inside. That looks like one of the Pantheon gods. You get some plants and some furniture. Crafting facility furnished. Oh no, these are just furnishings. New furnishings. These are the furnishing design ones. These are just new that were added already by Square. Or like they're adding them in with 7.0. Crafting facility furnishings can now be used by crafting classes up to level 90. In accordance with the increased character level cap, level 100 striking dummies have been added. That's cool that they look like little, I don't know, Solution 9 things. New orchestrion roles have been added. New aquarium fish have been added. I'm a huge fan of aquariums. And especially aquariums in 14. I have lots of fish. Well, I used to. I don't have a house anymore. So I swapped to a different data center. New seed for flower pots has been added. Oh, so you can have, like, flower pots in your house with sunflower seeds or something? Oh, no, these are sunflower seeds. That's the new one that they've added. What could you plant in there before? That's cool. So you can buy stuff from the Mist, Lavender Beds, Gauntlet, pretty much every housing area, and then New Gridania as well. The Gold Saucer. New prizes are available using MGP. It looks like eyewear. New cards for Triple Triad. New NPCs for Triple Triad. New areas to engage in Triple Triad matches with the player, and card numbers have been added to the item description of all Triple Triad cards. Pretty cool. We're into the miscellaneous section now. Players can now select female Hrothgar when creating a character. That's a pretty big W. I mean, I wanted to see female Hrothgar since they came out in Shadowbringers. I just like having the options for races. I know Square's said that they're probably not coming out with a new race after Hrothgar now. Or I guess they did Hrothgar and Viera. So... I don't know, I like them. Pretty good. I have a video that actually uses my... I made a... what do we call them? Hrothgal? Yeah, Hrothgals. That uses my Hrothgal as my benchmark character, and it looks pretty good. I think they did a good job, and they maybe were right in releasing it a little later. I mean, it also took them time to develop it. These are new hairstyles from the hairstyle design contest. Looks alright. I think it looks weird on Elizin, but like everything looks weird on Elizin, so I don't know. New hairstyles have been added. This is just... Wait. Oh, this is the winning entry. And then this is the one they added. This looks like Thancred's hair. No, or... No. I'm getting it wrong. This is the hair that's in the Dawntrail trailer. I was like, this looks familiar. But yeah, it's from the Dawntrail trailer. Following additions and adjustments have been made to the trust system. Prowl has been added as a new avatar NPC. You'll become available after progressing to a certain point in the main scenario. Pretty cool. Level cap for avatar NPCs has also been increased up to 100, and new glamours will be unlocked for avatar NPCs that reach level 100. Nice. Dawntrail category has been added to duty support. Also nice. Following additions and adjustments have been made to Wondrous Tales. Prizes available in exchange for commendations have been adjusted, and they've also added level 99 to level 91 to 99 and level 100 dungeons in addition to all the extremes from Endwalker as new Wondrous Tales duties. They've also added, or they've regrouped, I guess, raids and alliance raids. So now instead of like, oh, you have to do this specific Eden raid, or, you know, excuse me, or this specific, you know, Realm Reborn raid. Now it's just do a Realm Reborn alliance raid, or do anything from the third tier of Eden. Dawntrail entries have been added to the sightseeing log. Skywatcher NPCs have been added to the new areas. Skywatcher NPCs, oh, weather forecast? Wait, that's a thing? I totally didn't know that weather forecasts were a thing. Additions and adjustments have been made to Island Sanctuary. When selecting the plus button on the Isleworks agenda interface, players can now choose whether set agenda or supply and demand is the default window that opens. From the Isle Keeps index, select Sanctuary settings and default agenda settings under the Workshop tab. Sanctuary Gathering log can now be opened via the Material Allocation window. Material Allocation window will now save sorting settings. When selling materials in bulk via the Enterprising Exporter, the quantity set may now be saved for future transactions. That's a lot of words. I have not done much with the Island Sanctuary, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what this all means, so... that... yay? I guess? I don't know. Into the battle system now. Level cap for all disciples of War and Magic has been raised to 100. Sick. Oh yeah, see, they don't capitalize Viper either. Viper and Picto have been added as jobs. These jobs have no corresponding classes and will begin at level 80. So that means that if you want to do your MSQ with them, you are going to have to level them up to 90 first. So we got Vipers, the melee DPS. Somebody brought up Viper looks like a class or character from a game, another game. And I can't remember what it is. This is gonna bother me now. Stuck in my head. I can't remember. Anyway, they're the melee DPS, and you start that in Ul'dah, doing Enter the Viper. And then they have a job guide and a job trailer and all that. Job actions trailer, I think, for that shows off some of the stuff from Viper as well. And then Pictomancer is magical ranged, like we talked about earlier, and you can find that in Old Gridania. Again, starts at level 80, so that's pretty cool. And then also has a job actions trailer and the job guide. Oh, hey, look, job actions. In accordance with the addition of these new jobs, new gear has been added to the rewards for certain duties and will now be sold by merchant NPCs. Viper and Pictomancer cannot be used in Hall of the Novice, nor can they receive first-time completion bonus from guild tests. Okay. There's a job actions trailer if anybody wanted to check that out. Actions and traits have been adjusted. That happens pretty often. It's just like balancing. Layout of the blue magic spellbook interface has been adjusted. Following adjustments have been made to limit breaks. Monks will no longer change position when executing Final Heaven, and Dragoons will no longer change position when executing Dragon Song Dive. I believe this was, yeah, 7.0 is when Dragoons are supposed to get their big, like, rework, right? So that should be exciting. Player attributes have been adjusted as follows. Tenacity's effect on damage dealt, damage received, and HP restored has been increased. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. Warrior go burr. Certain status effects granted by class and job actions will now be removed when changing areas or entering an instanced duty. Interesting, okay. Effects of... oh, this is for 2.x5, so this doesn't affect 7.x. The effect of certain monsters and NPC actions has been adjusted. Oh! The armory bonus granted below level 90 has been increased from 50% to 100%. This armory bonus is applied to all available Disciples of War and Magic other than your highest level job or class. From level 90 onward, the armory bonus is a 50% increase in experience gained. Has it always been 50%? I thought it was, I thought it was 100%. Maybe it was 50% from 80 to 90 and 100% from 80 and below. Still, I mean, that's cool. That's going to mean that people can level up their alts or their alt classes faster. which is going to be sick because, you know, I think this might actually be the expansion that I unlock Machinist. It's going to be the last class I ever unlock. In accordance with the increased level cap, New World and Preferred World character bonuses now apply to all jobs at level 89 or below. That's pretty good. New enemies have been added. I see a cactus. That makes me happy. We love cactuars here in this channel. Pineapple boss. Pineapple enemy, not a boss. And I'm scared to know what this is. This like a person or a cyborg, or like, is it like this new faction trying to take over Tyrol? Also, Blizzard. New dungeons have been added. This is a dungeon. Dude, this looks cool. This reminds me of the Lost Ruins of Scala from Stormblood. Excuse me. And this is pretty cool. After beginning a boss encounter in dungeons newly introduced in 7.0, the shortcut warp will take players to the boss area's entrance. That is real nice, instead of what they used to do where the shortcut took you to like the first boss and then you had to run the rest of the way. In accordance with the increased level cap, players can now gain experience from level 90 dungeons, trials, and 6.x Alliance raid dungeons. That's good. We like that. I mean, they have to put this in. It's pretty typical, obviously. Like, you do dungeons while you're leveling, you get experience. New trials have been added. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's like a giant sky dragon. Seems, or sky worm. I don't know. It reminds me of like Evray from Final Fantasy X. A lot of things remind me of Final Fantasy X because I love Final Fantasy X. That's exciting though. Unreal trials have been temporarily disabled. You can still exchange faux leaves for various rewards, and they will release a new Unreal trial in 7.1. My goal is to do an Unreal trial this expansion. I've never done them. I thought they were very difficult when I first looked at them, but then I found out they're actually not. Or, like, they're meant to just be a reworked extreme. Not, like, harder than an extreme. Excuse me. In Abyssal Fracture and Gilded Araya, you will now be granted a 10% echo effect boost when you restart a trial. So basically, if you wipe up to 50%, you'll get echo. And if you restart after battling for less than 3 minutes, you will not be granted this effect, so it stops people from just hopping off the edge of the battlefield to boost their echo right away. Abyssal Fracture EX will also be getting an echo boost, which is 5% per restart, up to 25%. Same thing, battle for less than 3 minutes, no buff. The strength of the echo in Pandemonium Anabasios Savage has been increased, so now... Oh, just upon entering the Savage, it just goes up by 20%, but it doesn't scale up, so it does not increase when you wipe. Spire of Trial, so they're... it's an expansion of Stone, Sky, and Sea. I never really messed with this. I don't really know what it's about. I'll just know that they really kind of add it in every expansion. So you're tasked with destroying level 100 Striking Dummy. And in order to access that, it's in Solution 9, and you have to complete the final quest of Dawntrail MSQ, and the quest of Striking Opportunity, which I think is the one that's in, like, Stormblood or Endwalker or something. The weekly restriction on receiving cracked anthoclusters upon clearing Thalia has been removed. New elite marks have been added, which is big W, because I'm assuming they're going to add in an achievement for mounts again. Or, sorry, an achievement for marks that gives you a mount again. It's going to be kind of cool. I want to fight this magic pot thing. You can hunt regular and elite marks. We're getting sacks of nuts, which can be exchanged for various items, and you have to complete a quest given in Taliolol by the Wing of Protection Scout and hit a certain point in the main scenario to be able to get sacks of nuts, I guess. And then you exchange them with a NPC in Belial. Viper and Picto arms are now available from Deep Dungeon vendors for Palace of the Dead, Heaven on High, and Eureka Orthos, I guess. Yeah. Elegant Tomestones of Aesthetics have been added. So you can only receive Aesthetics after reaching level 100 with at least one Disciple of War or Magic class. No weekly limit on Tomestones of Aesthetics. So these are going to be... Oh, a secondary currency. Tomestones of Heliometry will be available in 7.05, which will be 4 weeks after the start of Dawntrail. So those will probably be the restricted ones that you can only obtain in a certain amount per week. Which is, I mean, again, typical, all your old ones they show here. Comedy, Causality, and Astronomy. Astronomy is actually just getting removed, which makes sense. And you can exchange them for Causality, and then you'll exchange Comedy and Causality with, for Poetics. And this basically sums up what I just said. Following additions and adjustments have been made to Duty Finder. So 6.x duties can now be undertaken using unrestricted party option. Category names and duties listed within each have been reorganized, so they're going to move all of your older stuff to a different category than the new instances. When undertaking duties using the unrestricted party option, players can now elect to leave a duty even during combat. Raid Finder now only lists trials and duties introduced with patch 7.0. And then ultimates will still be in there via Raid Finder. And then they've added Dawntrail duties to your roulettes for expert, leveling, and trials. And then 50, 60, 70, 80, and Duty Roulette 90 have been added into, or combined into just one called Duty Roulette High Level Dungeons. And so that will pay out in tomes as well. And then they've kind of readjusted the Tomestone payout, it looks like. I'm not going to bother breaking that down. I mean, you're either going to get more or less now. I'm not sure. They've also adjusted requirements and rewards for Adventure in Need. Before, your job had to be at 80 or higher. Now it has to be 90 or higher to be considered fulfilling that requirement of an Adventurer in Need. And you get Nova Clusters and Prismatic Clusters. That's pretty cool. And you get you exchange them for materia, just like normal. Before and after for requirements to register for Duty Roulette Alliance raids. Before, players must meet average item level requirements commensurate with the level of their current class or job at the time of registration. Hi, May. Oh, you're blessed with Kitty. Players must meet average item level. Now, players must meet the highest item level requirements among the Alliance raids they can enter at their current class or job level at the time of registration. Huh? Feel dumb, I don't really understand that. Must meet average item level requirements. Highest item. Does that mean you have to be at the highest item level you can equip for the highest Alliance raid you can do? Sounds like it. I don't know, I won't dwell on that too much. They're adding new PvP actions for Viper and Pictomancer. They're adding some new items in exchange for trophy crystals and wolf marks in the Wolves Den. And Series 5 is ending, Series 6 is beginning. I am going to be playing a lot of Crystalline Conflict this time. Especially while it's season 12 will be starting. So we're going to be having fun with that. I'll probably be doing PvP to get my series level up. I did get the Fierce Tyrant set, which is pretty good. I like the look of it a lot. Actually, you're probably going to use it as a Red Mage Glam for a while. Bye, cat. And rewards from Series 5 can be claimed until the end of Series 6. And if you missed out by then, you miss out. And Series 6 will go from 7.0 to 7.1. Like I said, new preseason and season following for Crystalline Conflict, I suppose. Yeah. Finishing in bronze or higher can claim rewards by the seasonal quartermaster, and there's a whole rewards thing, and there's different tiers of rewards based on what tier you get to, what rank you get to in Crystalline Conflict. New items. So this is what I was talking about. They're gonna show front and back. You got Gunbreaker, Samurai, Warrior, I think, Machinist, Ninja, or maybe that's Viper. That looks like Red Mage and White Mage or Black Mage. Yeah. Machinists just look like cowboys, like straight up. I think they won out of this, in my opinion. Gunbreaker, I don't know what they're going for with that. It just looks gross to me. Samurai even looks pretty cool. There's a lot of items that were added with 7.0, so they're not putting it in patch notes. Same thing with the recipes. There's new crafting recipes. Basewear. New form of accessories for the head, separate from other equivalent accessories, has been added. So now you can have eyewear and I think maybe masks. That would, like, to me when I think of basewear, that's what I assume. But I would imagine just eyewear. So glasses. And then you can equip them by just going into the facewear section. And it can be acquired by using corresponding items, such as a copy of the Faces We Wear - oval spectacles. And they can be freely equipped or removed at any time and customized with different colors. Oh, so you don't even have to use like prisms or anything on them. I wonder what happens when you change the colored lenses. Following fashion accessories have been converted into facewear. Oh yeah, all of the different spectacles. Players who acquired them... Oh, they will no longer be in the fashion accessories window. You can acquire them from a Calamity Salvager. And you can use... The items used to acquire them have not been removed from the game. So you can still buy them and use them to obtain the facewear. They've added markers to differentiate between Fantasia or Retainer Fantasia. Certain items can now be sold, desynthed, or submitted for expert delivery. Grade 11 and 12 materia has been added. They do that every time. They had 9 and 10 before, I think. Increased success rate for salvaging grade 9 and 10 materia. Grade 8 dark matter can be used to repair level 91 to 100 gear. Viper and Pictomancer have been added as required jobs for certain gear. And a whole bunch of rings that you used to get from raids, it looks like. Raids and maybe EX trials are no longer considered unique. There is now a 2-dye system, so you can dye a piece of gear 2 colors, which is huge. Instead of picking a color and looking at it in the preview and hoping it's dyeing the right thing that you want to dye. Now there's 2 different colors, so you can... again, hopefully they choose the right things to dye, but pretty good. You can use up to 2 dyes on a single piece of gear. Gears that allows more than one dye will display 2 separate dye tabs in the item dyeing window. And they are going to add additional gear that allows for multiple dyes, so I'm assuming they'll probably start with Dawntrail stuff and roll it back as they go, or roll it out to previous expansions as they go. Currently selected instant portraits may need to be edited. You know, you can set a favorite dye after selecting a color. Interesting. Option to preview preferred color schemes using favorite dyes has been added. Invert colors selected as dye 1 and 2. It's pretty much just a whole bunch of like QOL changes for like dyeing, in addition to being able to dye both pieces. Burnishing sealing wax and letter set is now dyeable. Now anyone can wear the fairy tale prince or princess sets, regardless of gender. Sundry Splendors has been added. A one-stop shop for Sundry Splendors, the thing that you trade your poetics for, I believe, has been added to Old Charlene as well. It's gonna be pretty good. You have to have completed Endwalker to access it. Layout of gear exchange menus has been unified. That's pretty good. Following adjustments have been made to gear exchanges for Tomestones of Astronomy, Causality, and Comedy. I think you just have to trade them poetics now instead of like buying a base item and upgrading it. Base items and upgrade materials can no longer be obtained from shops, dungeons, or retainer ventures. Players who possess the base item for such gear may upgrade them in exchange for 100 Allegan Tomestones of Poetic. Okay. New items have been added to Calamity Salvagers. New items are available from Calamity Salvagers in exchange for silver chocobo feathers. Oh, and now you can get Doctore's Scimitar and Warded Round Shield, and Doctore's Cudgel and Night Prowler's Charge for one single chocobo feather each. So these two will come as a set for one feather, and these two will come as a set for one feather. A couple items. Verdant Scepter and Warlock's Buckler no longer drop separately in Aurum Vale and will drop together as Black Mage's Verdant Arms. New items available in exchange for societal currency from allied societies in 2.0 areas. Time until actions may be used after consuming certain medicinal items has been reduced. Oh good, so like consuming potions, you don't have to wait as long, I guess? Or is it less of a GCD, maybe? I don't know. A system message will now be displayed when their effect expires for a lot of the, like, synthesis / crafting manuals. Level cap for DOH and DOL has been increased to 100, and orange gatherers and crafters scripts have been added now for level 100 disciples of the Hand and Land. And you can have up to a maximum of 4,000 at any time. You have to exchange everything for purple scripts because they're removing white and yellow scripts. So you can exchange white scripts for purple scripts. And then they will be using purple and orange to start with now. And you cannot get white or purple, or white or yellow from anything anymore. I'm not gonna, I mean, I could break down each line item, but I mean, basically the same as what they're doing with the tomestones. Amount and types of crafters and gatherer scripts received from custom deliveries has been adjusted. Following changes has been made to collectibles. So they're standardizing reward, experience points rewarded when delivering collectibles. No longer reducing the amount at lower levels. This is something that I just spent a long time doing because I got my Weaver up to level 90, so experience points rewarded when using class at level 90 or above to deliver collectibles 90 or below has been capped at 1,000. Makes sense. It's the same thing they did with the fishing leaves. They got rid of focus, synthesis, and focus touch. Interesting. Okay. And added some new actions and traits. They've added reflect. Efficiency has been increased from 100% to 300%. And advanced touch. And now standard touch and observe are combo actions. Oh, you acquire advanced touch at 68 instead of 84. Categories under special recipes have been adjusted. Oh, I see. Instead of having different tiers, it's just one set. Under all of them will be under restoration. New actions and traits for Disciples of the Land. Some actions that can no longer be used when a gathering point is at maximum integrity. New gathering points have been added to 7.0 areas. New items have been added at 7.0 areas. Or to gathering points in 7.0 areas. Gathering window will now display the integrity of a gathering point. That's pretty good, actually. I like that. New fishing holes have been added. New theming waters have been added. Probably just for the 7.0 updates. Or 7.0 areas. Bait and tackle will also display swim bait, a new form of bait obtained using the level 91 fisher action, Spareful Hand. The fish guide will now indicate whether a fish requires precision hook set or powerful hook set to catch. That's good. Following the increase in level cap, the following adjustments have been made to rewards obtained while ocean fishing. And you're getting purple scripts and orange scripts at 100 after meeting certain conditions, I guess. GP will no longer be reduced to 0 and players are incapacitated as a gathering class. Okay. Spirit bond gained when gathering will now be based on gear's equipping level rather than its item level. Interesting, so they're also adjusting spirit bond bonuses. Players will receive a bonus to spirit bonding when landing a big fish or legendary fish. New tomes of regional folklore have been added. New items that can be used for ethereal reduction have been added. Some changes have been made for desynthesis. The level cap for desynthesis has been increased from 650 to 710. After using quick desynth, canceling will now close the window if all items have been desynthesized. After checking the desynth entire stack box in the desynthesis window, this option will remain checked even after desynthesizing unstackable or single item. They've added new mounts, including an alpaca.
My internet is back.
And Kitty. And Manatee. These are cute. I love them. Also, I'm getting this barding, dude. I don't care. I need Clint Eastwood chocobo barding with a cactuar on it. And they've added a pretty cool, like, I don't know, Back to the Future Part 2-esque umbrella. The, like, clear, shiny plastic. Pretty cool. I like it. I'm not really going to break down too much of this because they've documented pretty well what's happening with the graphical update, which is huge. They're changing, like, a bunch of different things. They've added little eye movements for player characters and NPCs, movement of weapons, tools, and gear, and your character will, like, tilt when you're on certain mounts. And they're just changing some environmental effects, you know, making the game, you know, 2024 game. So, like I said, I'm not going to break down each thing for line items. Textures are getting better, right? They're going like, this is what we've been playing with for the last 10 years, and this is what it looks like now. So they're really just improving the resolution of textures, as well as improving how items move and, like, collision. Or not collision, but, like, kind of how items move around. Physics, I guess, for them. I'm hugely excited for the upgrades on the gear and hair, because it looks really kind of yucky. Because it's just old at this point. The number of light sources used for shadows has been increased. Updates have been made to grass. They've increased the density, and there's motion with grass from when people run through it and when wind blows through it, which is, to me, that's crazy. Color spotting. Pretty good. Movement from wind will appear more consistent at high frame rates, and there is now upscaling via FSR 1.0 and DLSS 2.0. DLSS only available on Windows. Anti-aliasing via TSC-MAA has been added, and SSAO via GTAO has been added. They've added some lighting options in ethereal background when you're editing your character, as well as sampling character voice combat lines, which is good, because I'm pretty sure my Elizin is just dead silent, constantly brooding, so, you know. Display of headgear and facewear can be toggled on or off using the esthetician. Oh, class section is now grouped by roles. Sorry, I missed that one. Pretty good. You now have 60 minutes after using Fantasia to test out your character in-game to see if you like them, and then you can go back and re-edit their appearance as many times as you want within that 60 minutes. They've added new market boards to Taliolol, so I'm assuming that means Taliolol will have them, and Solution 9 will not. So you'll be going back to Taliolol for everything, basically. And then, sorry, you'll go to Solution 9 for, like, your tombstone gear and all that. You can register retainers to Taliolol. You can make female Hrothgar retainers. Level cap's been raised to 100 for retainers, and they can now be assigned Viper and Pictomancer jobs. And then, provided you unlock them and your retainers are at level 80 or higher. New retainer ventures have been added. That's pretty good. And new items could be obtained from quick exploration ventures. New achievements and titles have been added. W. Elite marks will be displayed in the recommendations list. Guild cost for using teleport has been adjusted. Please cap it at 999 again. I'm Baroque. I hate having to teleport everywhere and it costing 1,000,000 gil. With the addition of new areas, the world map has been updated. I like that. I mean, they do that all the time. It's still cool. Positions of red arrows, including area boundaries, has been adjusted for Limsa Lominsa lower decks, which is good because it's kind of confusing. Maps will display at a high resolution quality. Let's go. And now there's a graphics setting for map resolution that was removed. I didn't even really know there was one. Viper and Pictomancer have been added to the player search menu. 7.0 areas have been added under custom. Editing search info, the size of the online status pull-down menu has been increased. Cool. Following adjustments have been made to target information. Target's remaining HP is set to be displayed as percentage. Decimal values will now always be shown. That is really good. When the setting display only detrimental effects you inflict is enabled, it will only be applied to enemy targets. Okay. Following this change, the name of the setting has been adjusted to display only detrimental effects you inflict on target. They've adjusted the view of the actions and actions and traits window. So they've separated some of the abilities a bit further. And they have allowed you to like choose whether certain actions will be replaced by another on the hotbar when executed. So basically, I would imagine that means you can like set up like combos. So like you press the first button in an ability that could combo with another one. And then the next one in the combo will appear in place of that, I think. A new option's been added to enable a recast timer to prevent erroneous input of actions that replace others on the hotbar on execution. Oh, I see. So you can have it set that it'll only replace it after a certain amount of time. Interesting. Gauges for certain jobs have been added or adjusted. I mean, they're changing that. Probably like Gunbreaker is getting another powder charge. Display of job gauges can now be disabled via HUD layout. Parameters used for text command /job HUD mode have been adjusted according to the order in which job HUD elements are unlocked. Glamour guide's been added to a few different things. Explaining, you know, fashion-related features such as dyes and glamours. This is all a bunch of stuff like reviewing repair requests. Item details will now include information pertaining to dyes and affixed materia. Viewing items attached to a mod letter, the item details will now include information pertaining to dyes and affixed materia. Requirements to keep new adventurer status have been adjusted as follows. You must, before it was play less than 300 hours and have not completed MSQ Death Unto Dawn. Now it is have played less than 300 hours and have not completed the main scenario quest Coming Dawn. Players who fill either of the above requirements may set their status to new adventurer. And if you've accidentally removed it, but you still fulfill the above requirements, you can restore it by using /NA status on. Then selecting new adventurer status in the edit search info window. Bonuses have been added for mentors. Or not bonuses have been added, but the bonus to experience points when a mentor forms a party with a new adventurer or returner now applies to level 90, sorry. They've changed the requirements for becoming a Disciple of War and Magic mentor, just moving up the requirement to be level 100 instead of level 90. Dungeon and commendation requirements stay the same, and same thing with Hand and Land. Gotta hit that max level. And then you have to renew your certification as a mentor. They've added some new... a log message will now be displayed when newly created characters on a new or preferred world meet the requirement to receive a guild bonus. They've added in some new adventurer plates, new accents, and color of lettering. Oh, interesting. They changed color of lettering on the 12-fold Blessings Framers kit. Interesting. New accents have been added to portraits. New poses have been added, and new filters are available for viewing the edit portrait interface under the background frame and accent list. And when hiding display of headgear, the setting will apply to instant portraits even after changing headgear. They've added some new stuff to G-pose. They've changed it so that they have copyright information on ultra-wide screenshots or cutscenes. They changed their copyright info, so instead of it saying 2010 to 24, now it just says copyright Square Enix when you take screenshots. Duties that can be recorded via the duty recorder have been changed. So instead of the Mother Crystal, Euphra Sign, and Anavicius Full Circle Savage, it'll be Thalia and then 2 trials introduced in 7.0 that are going to get added. Log message that displays on congested areas and accessible has been adjusted. Temporarily hide display of the chat log. A bunch of, I guess this is all kind of miscellaneous things, so you can have 30 alarms, increasing character limit for alarm names, and alarm editor interface layout has changed. Different sound options, sounds that can be muted. If you register somebody to the blacklist, they will be hidden. And if you join them in a party or alliance, they will display as unknown and in the party list and on their nameplate. Messages from people registered to the blacklist will be hidden. And blacklisting will apply to all characters tied to the blacklisted character's service account. That's huge. So somebody can't make a new character, just go and stalk someone. That's good. I'm very happy with that. It also blocks them on the lodestone. And you can save comments regarding blacklisted characters. And now Blacklist tab has its own menu instead of being included in the social window. It's under its own window under social. There's a mute list, so you don't necessarily have to blacklist somebody, you could just mute them, I think. You can mask messages containing certain terms, which makes sense. They're restricting data center travel and world visit system and logging out people who are inactive for 30 minutes automatically. New areas will be split into multiple instances. They do this every time. So I'm hoping that they've taken precautions to make the congestion better, because Endwalker was wild. And you can teleport via Aetheryte into different instances. You can like choose different instances. What have they done? W cross hotbar. I have no idea what the cross hotbar is. You can drag and drop actions onto or off of it, I guess, now. They have changed the gradation of the main menu background, and gamepad mode has been adjusted to improve visibility. You can use DualSense Edge wireless controllers now on Windows. You can also use DualSense and DualSense Edge wireless controllers via Bluetooth on Windows. That's cool. Haptic feedback, controller sounds, and create button functionality are unavailable. Maximum frame rate for PS5 and Xbox Series consoles are now 120 FPS when you connect them to a 120Hz monitor. When playing on the PS5 or Xbox Series consoles, trophies and achievements can be obtained or unlocked if the requirements have been fulfilled while playing on other platforms. That's good, so you don't have to do it just on that platform. System message will be displayed when players load the PS4 version of the game on PS5. They've added some new options for hiding those NPCs when you get close to quest NPCs like we'd talked about. They've included supplementary explanations of graphical options. The rest of this is just kind of, you know, options for your shadows and your grass interaction, your upscaling that we talked about before. Pretty much because they've done a whole graphics update right now. They've got to adjust some of the graphics settings. This is the same thing pretty much, I guess, for consoles. Different text commands that we've got. Oh, color filtering. Huh. That's cool. Oh, I guess, yeah, hold on. I didn't really look at that. They probably would be adding how colors are filtered in the game now, because they said they were making it more vibrant. Following text commands can be used to adjust volume levels even during cutscenes. Oh, I thought they've had those for a while. Text commands for job gauge 2 and job gauge 1 to toggle display of job gauges. New parameters have been added to the pet size text command for Solar Bahamut. Parameters for new jobs and areas have been added to the /search text command. This is all just the minor, little minuscule stuff that, you know, they're adding new trophies and achievements, new music, sound effects, and voices. Sound effects will now play when touching certain plants. Layout of the launcher is different. They changed everything to the Dawntrail logo and opening movie. I'm so excited to see that because I'm so curious what it's gonna look like. Display of world names have changed in the world selection window. See if anything crazy is happening here. It'll say a notification will be displayed when you get logged out due to inactivity during periods of congestion. Retainer ventures can... What? You can now assign retainer ventures via the companion app on your phone. You can be at work and use Koopa Nuts and Mog Coins to just keep sending your retainer. Oh, exploration and quick exploration can only be assigned in-game. Okay, never mind. Standard ventures cannot be assigned while exploration and quick exploration ventures aren't. But that is less fun. Viper and Pictomancer have been added to solo rankings for Palace of the Dead, Heaven on High, and Eureka Orthos. I am not going to break down all of the issues that they've fixed. If there's anything that's worth going over, though. I think it's mostly just bugs. And then there's some bugs that they know are going to be coming in. An issue in playing as Gunbreaker, wherein the action icon for Gnashing Fang loses its highlighting after executing Reign of Beasts, even if the execution requirements are met. Oh, that's good. An issue wherein other players appear invisible after exiting a deep dungeon under certain conditions. Oh, man. Yeah, there's some stuff. I mean, I'm sure they'll fix it. They usually do hot fixes pretty quick. Yeah, and that's the patch notes for 7.0. So I hope that everybody has fun with Dawntrail. And you know, yeah, I hope that everybody has fun with Dawntrail going into it. You know, we've got still more than 12 hours to wait. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But, you know, enjoy exploring a new continent in Eorzea. Something that, you know, we've never seen before. We're going into a new era of the game. It's gonna be great, I think. I will probably also have a video coming up for an unboxing of the collector's box as well. We have that coming soon. Probably get here. It's not here today, I'd imagine, so it'll be here next week, maybe, before this July 2nd. We'll do something on that. But until then, you know, safe travels, enjoy Dawntrail, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. I know we're all excited, but, you know, don't forget to eat, you know, drink, get proper sleep. All that's important. Okay. Enjoy. Bye for now.